Several Southern California universities are being warned by the Department of Education, the Trump administration, to do more to protect Jewish students. Letters were sent to 60 colleges nationwide Monday, including USC, Pomona College, Santa Monica College, and Chapman University. The letters cited Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits any institution receiving federal funds from discrimination and guarantees uninterrupted access to campus facilities and educational opportunities. The DOJ began visiting universities following pro-Palestinian demonstrations across the country last spring. One of the most disruptive, USC, lasted for 11 days. The LAPD arrested 93 people the first night alone. Many Jewish students reported being blocked from accessing parts of the campus.
UCLA, not one of those schools, but there was still a demonstration today on campus. Students walking out with a message to the Trump administration.
Fox 7's Christy Fajardo live at UCLA in Westwood with more on what happened there. Christy.
Yeah, Alex and Christine, as you said, UCLA did not receive one of those letters from the Trump administration, but has been told that the Department of Justice is investigating some incidents here last year. And today, about 200 protesters gathered and accused the university of bending to pro-Israel groups and also to the Trump administration. A crowd gathers with signs reading Jewish faculty stand with Mahmoud Khalil, and rights are not just for citizens. Calling for the release of the Columbia University student and green card holder, who the Trump administration is trying to deport because of his pro-Palestinian protests, which they argue are aligned with Hamas.
His high visibility, his high profile as an organizer on that campus, coupled with the fact that he is Palestinian, we see this as a deliberate tactic to scare people from advocating for Palestine.
Khalil's attorney says there's no evidence that his client supported any kind of terrorist organization. The protest comes at a time of rising tensions on college campuses around the nation. And at UCLA, a counter-protester tried to interrupt.
You need to leave. You need to leave.
He was asked to leave, and then protesters stood in front of him. A handful of counter-demonstrators also held up Israeli flags and chanted.
Here almost every day on campus, here specifically today to support our students, specifically our Jewish students, part of our community, who often feel threatened and targeted by such demonstrations of hostility.
Just yesterday, the UCLA chancellor announced an initiative to combat anti-Semitism. Jewish students have reported being harassed and blocked from certain parts of campus last year while pro-Palestinian protests were taking place. And the federal government is investigating alleged anti-Jewish incidents at the university. But the UCLA administration is also under fire for not doing enough to protect pro-Palestinian protesters when pro-Israel counter-protesters, some of them armed, came to campus, resulting in violent clashes. And that video was from last year. And when we arrived, there were signs across from us, which is where a lot of those protests last year were held, and also today's protests, reading that no gatherings were permitted. The protests went on anyway. And the administration here at UCLA has pushed back against allegations of discrimination, saying they take those reports from all sides very seriously.